A very common question I've been getting recently is what launcher I'm using to play AQ Worlds, and it always surprises me because I'm not using any special launcher. I have the game installed on the normal launcher you get from AQ.com, and that is how I play it. So, very odd question, but here's what I think people are asking about, like what kind of settings I'm using that make it look the way it looks. So let's go over those quickly and get you caught up on what settings you should be changing when you open up AQ Worlds. Okay, we'll start first with the menu really quick. So this lets you like swap between characters without having to relog or anything. Server selection, all that, really cool. Very simple to swap this. Just go to settings, and right here is where it says character. So you're gonna have to open your advanced settings with this button right here, and then character select screen, turn that on, and then you'll get that menu. You'll be able to add multiple accounts if you have alt accounts and stuff like that, and they'll show up on the screen there. The screen's kind of buggy. I actually wouldn't recommend adding an alt account unless you play on it a lot. Like if you hardly ever use it, don't add it. It's buggy and broken, and whenever you go in the server selection, it like breaks, and it's not good. I wish I could remove my other account, and there's a way to do it, but yeah, it's an issue. The next thing is probably the drop menu that people think is different than theirs. So mine, I have it like this. So you can drag it around the screen, move it around wherever you want it. Really good. And it will display drops when you click on it. You can hide the whole box by clicking that button, the little item box, put your icon there. And yeah, so really good stuff. So to achieve this, you're going to want to open up your advanced settings and type in the word drop. Now I have my custom drop UI turned on. I have the inverted menu on as well. If you don't invert it, it'll be the opposite direction there. And then I have these off. Hide temporary drop notifications, I got that on. Draggable mode is on, so you can drag it around. Quantity warnings, turn that off. Lock position off. Quantity warnings are very annoying. You should definitely turn that off. And then yeah, so that is that. If you want to match up my drop menu there. And while we're here, I'd like to give a little bit of advice here about the actual drops. So let's say you're farming these fish guys and you keep getting the fish drops, you know, like that's kind of annoying. If you hold shift and then left click on the drop, shift on your keyboard, and then left click, it'll say, are you sure you want to add this to your block list? So if you add this item to a block list, it will never drop again unless you remove it from the block list. To do that, just go in your settings and type in block, and you'll find the item drop here, and it's alphabetical. So if you're looking for the fish, you just go down to F and then find the fish and then remove it from the list, or you can fully clear your list as well. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can if you need to. And yeah, really useful if you're farming the same mob over and over again. You just don't want repeat drops. You only want the drops that you actually need. Very good for that. So yeah, but keep in mind sometimes when you're doing like new farms, maybe the item that you need is blocked. That actually happened to me recently. So keep that in mind when you're doing different farms. The next thing that people probably see that's different on my client compared to theirs is the skill aura. Now, for some reason, this isn't turned on by default. Don't ask me why. AE is just weird about that. So if you would like that on, just type in skill, and you can see visible skill cooldowns. So that's the numbers on here, which will, like, if you do that, it'll give you a little countdown timer, which is kind of nice. I actually like that. So you can turn it on or off depending on your preference. And if you search aura like that, activate class aura, you can disable the tooltips. I don't do that because it's nice to be able to highlight them. So I don't know why you do that. Disable text aura. So that's how I have mine laid out there. So it might look different than yours. Okay, next up, we're going to search for the binds or key binds in our settings here. We're going to open that, and then we're going to search for, I think it's, I might be able to just find it here. Now there's a bunch of different binds. The one we're looking for is, there's a bunch I don't even have bound here, outfits. So you're gonna find your outfits bind. Now people didn't know about this for some reason. I don't know why, but this is very handy. I use this all the time. So bind that to Z like I did, or whatever key you want it on. And you can set up different class setups in here. So if I add a new one, it will look like this. You can pick your armor, you can pick your class. So if I want Arch Pal, I can put it there. And this lets you basically effectively save different enhancement loadouts for different classes. So if you're using Lightcaster, might have different ones in Lord of Order. Great Thief might have different ones in Archmage. So if you want different enhancements, different weapons with different boosts equipped into those slots, it's very good to swap them quickly. So you can see I have Archmage on. If I swap there, I instantly have Great Thief, and it instantly has my different enhancements, which is really, really nice. And it changes CC as well, which is annoying because it's mainly a class thing, not a cosmetic thing, even though it's called outfit slots. They're more of like class slots right now. They're going to add, they plan on adding proper outfit slots in the future, like actual cosmetic ones, but these aren't it. These are actually like class slots. So very helpful. Make sure you bind that and use it. The next thing we're going to look at is the travel menu. This is very helpful if you're doing grinding legitimately and not using a bot. So if you type in travel into your thing, it'll open up a travel menu. Now you need to leave this open. You can minimize it like the little arrow, but you need to leave this open for it to actually function, and you need to go in your settings and open it by typing in travel. There might be a keybind for it in the binds. Come to think of it, I probably have a keybind to something, but I forget it, and I don't use that often to want to remember it. I just type in travel when I want to open the menu. But anyway, so for this, you can type in the map name. Like if I type in Battle On, and then you can also type in, if you want to go to a private one, dash, and then I think it's 5 numbers, if I'm correct about that. And then you can add that to the list. And if you just want to go to the public, whatever, you just type in just the map name. And then you can travel next to that. And it will take you to that map. You see I'm in Battle On dash 2222. And very easy. And then you can have a keybind for it as well. I think mine is T or Y. It's Y. And then it'll go to the next map. And then once you're done farming here, it'll go to the next map. And then the next map. So if you're farming in different locations, like you're Nulgath farming or something, it's very helpful to have the travel menu. So you have to like type in, or like even like there's a history thing on the chat now, which is kind of helpful, but it's just way easier to use the travel menu. So make sure you're utilizing that if you're farming. Next one, you might not have this turned on. I think a lot of people will, but re-accept quests after turn-ins is very helpful if you're doing repeatable quests. Allow quest log turn-ins. Make sure you have that on. No reason not to. And there's some other things like quest pinner. You can pin quests. That's very, very helpful as well. Quest progress notification. Now that's off by default. You probably want to turn that on. That's really helpful as well. Keep track of where you are in your quests. So just type in quests and make sure your settings kind of match mine, or pick your preference for these, because these are things you're definitely going to want on. Now they do what they say, but just in case you're like kind of wondering. So I could say take this quest from Graveland here, accept it, and then open my quest log with my keybind. You can change that in the bind settings, same place you did the cosmetic thing. You can open your quest, you can turn it in, you can do everything just by hitting your keybind, even when you're not in the same room with the NPC. There used to be a thing in the game called quest glitching, where if you wanted to keep this menu open, you would take an item and do this, and then hit delete item, and it would open up this box, and then it would keep the window open like that. That used to be how people would do it, so you would travel around like this, but you don't have to do that anymore. If you're an old player and you remember that trick, you don't have to do that anymore. You can just hit your quest menu thing, and you can do it right there. So, and you can also pin quests up here as well. If you hit the little pin there, it will pin it up there, so you can just click the little exclamation mark on your thing, and it will open up your available pinned quests. Okay, a few more things I'd like to point out that are in the settings that you're going to want to change if you're booting up the game for the first time. So the one massive thing is disable damage strobe. Turn this on immediately. I'll show you what it looks like with it off. So with it off, this is what combat looks like. Now on a small mob like that, you can't really see, but you see that white flash on the creature when you hit them? See that white flash? You can imagine how annoying that would be if it's a monster's taking up half your screen like some monsters do in the game. So you definitely want to turn that on. Now you can see with it on, I'm fighting the same monster. You see, he's not flashing white now, which is amazing and really, really good if you're in a room with a massive mob that takes up a lot of the screen. Definitely turn that off. If for some reason your smooth backgrounds are turned off, turn this on for everything. Okay, I will show you what it looks like with it off. So if you turn this off, it didn't load yet, but get an image of what this looks like. Now we go back. It looks awful. I mean, you might not be able to tell in YouTube compression, but it looks like AQ Infinity now with it the lower resolution. It basically uses like the low settings for the backgrounds. It's really, really bad and it looks not good at all. So make sure you turn that on and leave that on. It does affect your frame rate slightly, ever so slightly, to the point where you're not going to notice it. It's not going to matter. Leave it on, please. Sometimes I'll see screenshots of people on Twitter and stuff that have it turned off for whatever reason, and it's not worth it. If it saves you 1 frame per second, that 1 frame per second wasn't worth it. Have smooth backgrounds on, please. Show monster type is a very handy setting to have turned on as well. If you click on a monster, it will show you their type. So this monster is a monster. This imp is a monster. This one's chaos. So a chaos tagged weapon that does more damage to chaos will do more damage to this monster. And it even has a little thing under it. So good to know, good to have, so you know what boosts to be using where. Battle Pets is a really cool setting. If you have a battle pet, it will use this animation even when you're not using a battle pet class. There's only a few, like a handful at most, battle pet classes in the game, and they're all pretty meh. So having that on is really cool. It lets your battle pet fight alongside you, and your normal animations even play as well. So it's pretty good. Leave that on. Very good. Very good feature. Chat, I also have that in minimal mode, so my chat might look a little different. Yours, mine will like fade automatically and stuff. If I see something like hi in the chat, you can see it doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay on the screen. It's kind of nice. I don't know. You might not like that. You might like chat always being there, but I like it. So it goes away. So it just looks a little bit cleaner, you know. Other than that, I don't think there's anything too crazy in the settings here, but here's my full settings. I'll scroll through them if you want to copy them or see what I changed that maybe you didn't and whatnot, but that's about it. So I have one more thing to say before I end off this video, because I saw this on a Reddit thread, I think the other day, where players didn't know this. And I found it very, very interesting that people didn't know this in 2024 that we're in now. So in the settings here, under gameplay, when you do show helmet, show my cloak, hide others' cloaks, and stuff like that. Now, people thought these were client side. These aren't. These are server side with the exception of pets. So show pet and hide other pets, these are client side. Other people will still see your pets if they have other people's pets turned on. Pets are not something you can toggle for some reason. Other people will always see your pet if they want to see your pet. The cloaks, hide others' cloaks, of course, is client side as well, meaning that it won't change. Like you can't hide another player's cloak, of course, but your own cloak. If you turn this off, if you hide your cloak, other people will not see your cape. They won't see your cape. It looks like you're not wearing a cape. Same with helmet. If you turn off your helmet in the settings, other people will not see your helmet. They'll see the hairstyle. So if I turn my helmet off, other people will see me bald like this as well. This is server side, not client side. I saw some people confused about that recently, and I thought everyone knew about this, but they didn't. So the cloak and helmet in here, these two settings, those are for everyone. Everyone sees what you see when you change these. So keep that in mind. If you're making a set and you maybe don't want to show your cloak, or you want to show your hairstyle instead of your helmet, other people will see those. So just thought I'd mention that as well, because maybe some people didn't know that for whatever reason. Also, you can, if you're a recent returning player, censor profanity is a thing. You still will get banned and stuff in chat if you say any weird stuff in chat, but you can turn off censor profanity and you can say basically anything in game now. They still do moderate it though, and you still can get reported, so don't go too crazy with that. But yeah, there is I think your account has to be above a certain age too. I think maybe above 16 or 18 or something to have that setting there. So if that setting isn't there, it means your account's probably a little too young. Anyway, hopefully that's a good enough video about settings here. I thought I'd make an updated one. I made one before, but it's kind of older video now, and I thought I'd make an updated one and go through a few different things, maybe make it more concise. So yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If I missed anything, leave it down in the comment section. If something I should have mentioned, something that I forgot, leave that down in the comment section to help out other people. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and all that, and yeah, have a good one. And maybe check out my old video. If you're in the settings, check out my old video. I made a video, it's called Advanced Settings. If you look that up on YouTube, you'll probably find it. And I go a little bit more in depth on that. I take a little bit more time on each setting, showing you what they do and giving you examples of what they do. So you might want that video if you want a more in-depth look at this stuff, but I thought I'd make a more concise version of it here. So anyway, bye-bye.